Good evening. This is Swati Mishra discussing sustainable life cycle assessment design for wood-based industries to reduce climate impact on biodiversity. Climate change is a defining issue today, and we are at a defining moment. There is a continuously growing research and development for cleaner technologies, substitute materials which have reduced carbon and energy footprint. Wood amongst this have emerged as an ecological material and is used worldwide as it can stock carbon, is energy efficient and renewable. Wood has been gaining a momentum. However, an increased dependence on any particular material over a longer period creates a dearth and imbalance, and competition for the trend creates a negative impact on climate as well as biodiversity. India is one of the fastest emerging forest-based industries in the world. As per IPEF report of 2015, wood accounts for 65% of Indian furniture, and of that, teak accounts for 50%, sal and deodar for 20%. Indian timber industry is advancing with growing knowledge base and synergistic contribution from flagship schemes from the government. Wood industry sector in India is the most scattered and undocumented, and thereby needs a unique life cycle assessment design to understand its impact on climate and biodiversity. Life cycle assessment, or LCA, in the last 2 decades has become one of the most comprehensive technological tools for evaluating the impact that a product or a process has on its environment. LCA can be conducted for cradle to grave, cradle to gate, gate to gate, gate to grave stages. Gate to gate analysis can be opted to understand the impacts of an organization or industry on the environment. The basic LCA design takes into account goal and scope of the industry, inventory analysis, impact assessment, and interpretation. It also includes the direct and indirect impacts caused by the industries, such as by raw material acquisition, energy input, reuse and maintenance, recycling, and various output wastes and emission. But there are other aspects that need to be considered while designing an LCA for wood-based industries. Let us view the different facets of the industrial processes of wood-based industries. Every process of production and consumption begins with an intellectual act, that is, recognizing the use potential embodied in a part of nature and landscape, be it land for grazing, wood for construction, handicraft, furniture, or packaging. In next step, a value is attributed to what is no longer perceived as a part of nature but as a resource. This attribution of a value refers to the potential market value of the resource. Now, if the market value is higher than cost of exploring and exploiting the resource, in reality it becomes cost of waste production, exploitation of resources, overburden on the ecosystem, wastes like effluent waste, solid waste heaps or toxic waste, emissions, and more to name. Thus, it's important to add aspect of consumerism to learn about high and low of the market and its relative impact on climate and the biodiversity. Another important yet missing factor in the basic LCA design is time. The selected wood industries have largely had leftover wood waste in powdered form, which can be reused, but still a part of it remains in space and over time causes harm. These industries uses various treatment methods, and the different chemicals, be it solvent or spirits, used for these treatments have negative impact over time. Now, the third important factor would be eco-design of the process and the economics of an industry. Investment in cleaner or green technologies are not always expensive, and better technologies reduce cost of maintenance and mitigates carbon emission. It reduces energy consumption and cancels noise effect. The eco-design of the process is neglected often or it is overseen. Example: stacked wood in furniture, handicraft, paper or pulp industries is seen, and the stacking of wood over a longer period leads to biodegradation of the wood, causing a loss of resource and an economic loss as well. Fourth and most important factor is social aspect. Society gives birth to industries and gets involved in LCA design from goal and scope to interpretation and solutions. When raw material is acquired from the region or there is an excess demand of raw material, it intervenes with the topography of the region. Also, the energy consumption, waste emissions affect the society and human health. The eco-design and the economics are also responsible for the quality of life of the employees. Thus, a sustainable LCA design for wood-based industries would undertake goal and scope of industries, inventory analysis inclusive of raw material acquisition and logistics, inputs such as energy, water and other required materials, impact assessment, spatio-temporal aspect, study of market, eco-design, social aspects and interpretation to design an effective management system that would slow down or mitigate the negative impact on its climate. An ineffective design fails to mitigate climate crisis and alters the ecosystem, thereby destroying our own sustenance that we depend on. Thank you.